Streaming now, this is the Wood TV Live Desk.
And good morning, everyone. Phil Pinarski here with the News 8 Live Desk. Hope you're all having a great start to your Friday. Happy Valentine's Day, everybody. All month long, throughout the month of February, News 8 is bringing you the stories that celebrate Black History Month all across West Michigan. And it all comes together next Thursday for our Black History Month special that will be kicking off again on Thursday at 7 p.m. And you can also find a full recap of that over on our website following the end of that broadcast. But all month long, like I said, we've been bringing you stories from some of our reporters, and one of our reporters joins us now. Kyle Mitchell is here to talk about two stories that he did that are part of our Black History Month coverage. Kyle, thank you so much for stopping by today.
Thanks for having me, Phil.
Of course, I want to talk about each story in particular. The first one, really interesting concept, really interesting story about threads down in Muskegon. Can you explain that a little bit for us?
Yeah, there's a group called Threads. We got to sit down with the founder and president of the organization, Maria McIntosh, and they're really working on a variety of issues, in particular in housing, looking for making housing more accessible to communities of color, more affordable. They're also kind of trying to increase participation in voting, and they've done events kind of throughout the state to encourage especially young people to register to vote, which they did in the last presidential election, the 2004 presidential election. But really, one of the big things they're trying to do is called the King Village Development in Muskegon Heights. So it's a proposed development for the old Martin Luther King Jr. Elementary School in Muskegon Heights, trying to create apartments there, some condos, townhomes, some retail space, but really just kind of bring new investment into Muskegon Heights and that school, which has been closed, for decades at this point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, again, a really great story, and for everybody who's wondering, you can find both of Kyle's Black History Month stories right now over on our website, woodtv.com. Just head on over to the News tab and find our Black History Month section. You can find stories that we've done here at News 8, kind of preparing for that special that, again, kicks off next Thursday, but then also see some of the other stories that other Next Star stations are also working on. Again, that is all underneath the News tab over on woodtv.com. Kyle, kind of want to shift over now to your other story that you were working on, and that all involves some planned or hopeful expansion of the Grand Rapids African American Museum.
Yeah, this story really interesting. Downtown Grand Rapids is where the Grand Rapids African American Museum is, and it's been in this only location. It started as kind of like a traveling exhibit, but it has a pretty small location downtown, and it has just grown tremendously. The amount of artifacts and items in the archives has grown. So they're really looking for a new space, trying to go from, just a small space downtown to maybe 4 times or so the size. So we talked to them about kind of some of the items in that archive, in that collection, and what they're looking for in terms of a new location. It'll allow them to offer new programming, educational space, classroom space. So they're really trying to, make sure there is plenty of opportunities to learn and to see these items in the archives.
Right, now, and even just seeing some of the items that are at the museum, I mean, it really is kind of special, really hopeful that they can find a space to really fit everything in there. And Kyle, you are one of the few reporters that actually did multiple stories covering our Black History Month coverage and everything like that. So kind of going off both of these stories, two very different stories, what really did you take away from that, if anything, just from speaking to the people at the museum or with Threads and just kind of hearing their stories, hearing what they're trying to accomplish?
Yeah, I really was just, fascinated about all the history and what we were able to learn, especially, within the archive. And just some of the items in there, from, a replica of the Green Book and just things you don't really see very often. I thought that was just really interesting. Threads, the work that they're trying to do with housing and just making it more accessible and affordable is pretty remarkable as well.
Yeah, no, very impressive. And again, both of Kyle's stories can be found right now over on our website, woodtv.com, and it's all going to lead up to next Thursday, where we're going to have our big Black History Month special on the 7 And again, that is coming up next Thursday. Hopefully you will mark your calendars, make sure you tune in, and of course if you can't tune in live, we are going to have a full recap of it coming up over on our website following the airing of that special. That's for next Thursday, but in the meantime, go ahead, check out all of our Black History Month coverage. It can be found over on woodtv.com. Kyle, thank you so much for stopping by today. We really do appreciate it.
Thanks for having me, Phil.
Of course, I want to thank everybody else for tuning in to this latest edition of the News 8 Live Desk. I'm Phil Pinarski, and we hope you have a great rest of your day.